name is Judy Collins, and I'm the Executive Director of the United States Staffing Association. And I am very happy today to be talking with Karen Connors, who's the Vice President of Business Development, Coats Staffing Solutions and Staffing Software. So I know that Coats has been a very long time supporter of USSA, and I want to thank you for that. And then also, it's just nice to getting to meet Karen, and she is going to be celebrating 27 years at Coats Staffing Software, which what a great career. And if Karen, you just want to introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about Coats.
Sure. Hi, I'm Karen Connor. As Judy said, I am the VP Business Development of Coats Staffing Software. We have been in business since 1995. We were actually the first Windows product on the market. Lots changed since then.
Yes, well, and I know Coats really helps keep everything together. It brings together all and kind of simplifies and manages all the critical data that recruiters are having to deal with. I mean, which is like more and more and more. And if you don't have control of that data, you really don't have control of your business. So, and Coats, goes through so much of that critical information. I know compliance is always a critical part for recruiters, and it's a challenge to keep up with all the new rules and regulations and state and federal and local laws and payday laws. So can you help us understand really how Coats helps really recruiters keep all that together?
Sure, absolutely. So thanks for having me, Judy. I really do appreciate it. And as you mentioned, we've been long-time supporters of the United States Staffing Association. I think these groups are so important to staffing agencies. I think a lot of times this is where staffing agencies can come and get many answers. So I'm honored to be here. As far as compliance is considered, I would say because Coats has the capabilities of allowing our staffing clients to manage their front, middle, and back office software, being that all the data is in one software platform, that attributes to helping very much so with compliance. So we're talking about compliance from when you first are going to find the applicant. So as far as a pre-employment application, our pre-employment application follows the barriers to hire rule. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but when you first apply, you aren't to be asked any of those barriers to hire. So you're not to be asked your date of birth, your social security number. You aren't to be asked if you've been convicted of a felony, any of those post-hire type of information. So through Coats, through the online applications, that is a pre-employment application that they can fill out. So that information comes into Coats through the employee master record. And then there's so much more and so many different areas of compliance. So we have the employee. Then after you do the interview with the employee, then you want to do their post-hire paperwork. And that could either be through a packet or through our integrated partner efficient hire. And they manage and track all the compliance through those laws and those questions on what can I ask during an I-9? What can I ask in the W-4? What type of forms can be populated, etc. So that information is then filled out and then pulled back into Coats. So that's as far as the employee is considered. Now, when we're talking about clients, CRM, ATSs, you have the ability through Coats with the CRM to store contracts, to manage and keep contracts. Of course, then you want all that data with the employee and the client to be combined in a job order. So that's really our middleware, the job orders. That's where you're going to be searching for your available applicants or your available employees. And you're going to go on to text them. You're going to want to send out mass texts like, hey, who's available? Who can take this job? And then all of those confirmed and working employees are going to go into payroll. So instead of saying, okay, well, I have this ATS and then I have this CRM and then I have these orders. Well, now I have to process payroll. Am I going to have to put in all that information again? Absolutely not. It's all there. So all of your confirmed employees are going to show through there. If you're interested in time and attendance, we work with Time Rack. So they can do mobile punches. They can do online time. So we send those automatically, those job files of all those new candidates that you're employing. So recruiters know you might have an employee who you place at 3 different jobs and you might place them at 10 in the morning, and then tomorrow they might go somewhere different. Well, time rec knows that, and time rec can track that. And then all that information comes into payroll. So then that's where all the payroll compliance comes in. What are the federal laws? What is the FUTA, the SUTA? What is the FICA? What is the Medicare? Are we matching? All those different things that the payroll platform does know. What are the localities? We have nicknames for them like WAPL and, Caddy and Oregon Family Leave. So we have all these nicknames for them, but they're in coats. They're attached to the employee record. They're attached to the assignment. So at payroll, you'll know, am I missing any taxes for that employee that I should be withholding? And then that goes to your invoicing. So the payroll creates the invoices. All of those liabilities go into an AP that you owe. So I owe Oregon, I owe California, I owe Caddy for the local. All of that will go into the AP, and then we'll also go into the general ledger. So are we making money? What is our profit and loss? What are our KPIs? Are our salespeople, working through to their KPIs? Are our recruiters following through to the KPIs? What's our gross margin profit client? So there's a ton of reports, ton of information. Then it comes time for, how do I send my 941? Does it match my Schedule B? What about my quarterlies? I have to follow those reconciliations, those big reconciliations. What about, there's so much, I know you're like, oh my gosh, I could talk on this for hours, but what about the quarterly reports and how every single state might accept the file differently? What about the W-2s at the end of the year? Can we put them online through our employee portal? Did the employee opt into an online W-2? So I don't have to print a W-2. So all that lovely information, and not even to touch on the Affordable Care Act, that 3-letter word that got that everybody was very upset about, in the beginning of 2015. We follow all that compliance for the 1094s, 1095 forms, 1094C XLMs. So if you're looking for a product that you can purchase, that you can say, you know what, I'm covered. I know that if I use coats, I'm covered from the front to the end. I can be a little less stress-free as to, am I following the rules and guidelines that are required for a staffing agency? Mm-hmm. So that is the long-winded answer.
Well, I think it's amazing that really it's everything the recruiter needs is at their fingertips.
Yes.
And it really simplifies the business, the staffing business side. I always say recruiters have the harder part of the job, and that's finding the right person for the right job. Let's not have you worrying about how you're going to handle once you've done that connection.
Correct.
And Coach is such a good solution because it does bring all of that together. I know ACA right now is coming back into the forefront, that because for a long time, I think everybody had kind of put that in the back of their mind. And all of a sudden now the government needs to make sure, the IRS wants to make sure that everyone is ACA compliant.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So what a nice way. And then also on calculating your profit, your kind of your reports showing, where your profit is coming from. What clients are you working with, or, which may have the better return on your time. So, can you tell us a little bit just about the reports?
Sure. There's over 300 reports in codes. So there's current confirmations, daily confirmations. There's, as we mentioned, the gross margin, gross profit. So when we're talking about gross margin, gross profit, it's almost what I like to say, it's almost to a P&L level at the client. So we want to know, what did we bill our client? What did we pay our employee? But then beyond that, what were the costs to the employer? What were the FUTA costs? What were the SUTA costs? What were the work comp costs? What were the other costs that you might attach through AP? Like, did we have to pay for uniforms? Did we throw a pizza party? Do we have to pay for badges that are missing? So each client gets broken down by the region that they're in, the branch that they're in, their department that they're in. So a lot of clients will have niches. So let's say you do clerical with a client, but also industrial, and you want to compare the gross margin, gross profit between the two. I might be making money in industrial, but because my margin is smaller, I have to have more people. Where clerical, I can have a higher margin, and then my work comp's much lower. So I can maybe make more money having 15 more clerical than instead of having 50 more industrial people. So it gives you that picture and those graphs as far as if you just wanted to take it to a broad level. So if I want to look at my entire company and say, okay, what does it look like overall? Are we making money? Great. Are we making money in this region? Are we making money at this branch? Are we making money at this department? Are we making money at this client? Are we making money at this particular job order? And if we're not, where are we losing money at that particular job order? So all of those reports are drillable to specifically see, you may have lost money just unfortunately on one employee that you sent and you couldn't bill. And that happens sometimes, and that's okay. But at least and you can see it. So you can pull reports that will say, hey, do I have any client that has any assignment under X markup? So sometimes did somebody miskey? And nope, well, we can check that. I can pull assignment validity reports before I process payroll to say, hey, has my front office put in all the appropriate taxes that they need before they get to payroll? So before someone generates that time and creates that pay and bill, it would stop it anyway. But I would see, oh, this person's missing a locality. I didn't realize this person lives here, but now they're working here. So at that assignment level, you need this locality. There's KPI reports. So very crucial these days, especially with remote work. A lot of times the best way to track is through KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. So how many employees does my recruiter have out? How many are new starts? How many finished? What is our turnover? What is their markup rate per employee? And then same with sales. How many phone calls did they make? Emails did they make? Appointments did they make? Cold calls did they make? So it's all a numbers game, a lot of time. Even though our product is human and our product is people, which are fantastic, it also comes down to numbers, right? So all of those reports will help.
Well, and it almost helps the small to mid-size staffing firm owner go really from working, at their business to working on their business. I mean, really the business of running a staffing firm.
Yes.
It makes all the difference in the world once you kind of cross over and your time is really better spent maybe, on the getting new clients or, finding out really where that money is going. And so you can grow your business. So you know exactly what you need to be working on. So Karen, how can people get in touch with you? Because I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
Sure, absolutely. So you can go to www.cotessql.com. You can call us at 800-888-5894, or you can email me at kconnor@cotessql.com. And as my mother-in-law says, we're Irish, not English. So it's KCONNOR at cotessql.com. Absolutely. So any way that you want to reach out, we would be happy. There's a contact page on the website. You can email me directly, or you can give us a call, and Marie, our office administrator, will get us in touch.
And I also think that you are a teacher by education.
Yeah, actually. Mm-hmm.
Which is perfect, because I always think that really it's teaching and helping people understand.
Yes.
Really, yeah. the business and really what Coach can offer, staffing firm owners. So I think you're perfect at that.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, that was quite a segue. So I did teach. It was 5th grade. And it was a fantastic time in my life, but then someone needed a trainer for a new software that was coming out. And that was Coates. And I went from a training role to not too often a support role. I like to do, more training, more development, more project management. But we have a fantastic support team.
Well, and I saw that when you had said, I'm a lifer, a lifer for Coach. So yes. What a better advertisement for Coach is being able to keep their in-house people, happy and motivated, which you are motivated. So
thank you,
anyway, Judy. Thank you very much. And please, everyone, give Karen, look her up and
please do.
And let's see how Coach can help you grow your business.
Yes, we'd love to meet you and talk to you. Thanks so much.